Well, hello there. Somehow you have messed up your TV remote, and instead of watching TV, you're watching Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics. Just remember that the Codex cards that we use for this effect can be purchased at RP Magic Shop. Please check out the link to their website below, and special orders don't upset them. If he hasn't got it in stock, Rich will get it for you if it's at all available. So anyway, moving on. How do you do Shuffle Lesson by Chad Long? Well, whoops, first of all, you don't drop the cards. That's a no-no. There is a bit of a setup. And the setup is you take the 4 aces. All right, you got that? The 4 aces. You put them on the top of the deck. The 4 kings go on the bottom of the deck. All right. So you tell your spectator, your participant, please do everything that I do. Do it exactly as I do, and I will help walk you through it if necessary. And again, at this point, I usually do a shuffle. All right, but it is a controlled shuffle, making sure that I keep the kings on the bottom and the aces on the top. All right, you see how that worked out? Pretty good, eh? And there are the 4 aces. Now, again, when I do this in person, I usually do 2 or 3, at least 2, sometimes 3 shuffles. But I always make sure that it's a controlled shuffle, keeping the top 4 and bottom 4 cards in order, all right, keeping them where they are, all right? So then the spectator, the participant, can cut the cards in half, roughly. This side will have the aces. You got to keep in mind which pile has the aces. So the aces are over here. You want them to have the aces. So if they point at the deck with the half deck with the aces, the packet there, you can say, go ahead, you take those. If they point to this one, they say, okay, those will be mine, and you get these. Okay, magician's choice. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Now, here's the second half of the deal. You need to keep the key cards, the aces and kings, on the bottom of the deck. Okay, now on the for the magician, it takes a slight of hand routine. For the participant, you're going to trick them into doing it for you. All right. So when you're doing this, you say, okay, the first thing we're going to do is an overhand shuffle, and this is really the key shuffle of the whole thing. You tell them to take 1 card at a time. Now, for you, that doesn't mean anything. These are just indifferent cards. Doesn't make a lick of difference. After a while, to speed things up, you tell them, go ahead and take a few cards, like little packets of cards. And then at some point, you're going to misdirect them and say, okay, you're doing just fine. They're probably going to be looking down at their deck anyway. And you're doing just fine. So you just take the rest of your deck of whatever's left and throw them back on the bottom so that the kings are still on the bottom. On the other hand, the participant is going one at a time, and they're moving the aces. They're moving 1 ace at a time to the bottom of the deck for you. They don't realize that. Okay, so you do this for a little while, then you let them go to doing this, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, and boom, the aces are where they need to be on the bottom of the deck. All right, so the next thing is you have them do that, again, I'm not going to do it with both packets, but the center cut shuffle, which you just simply take cards out of the middle and put them on the top. I emphasize to them, make sure you take them out of the middle, otherwise you're not really shuffling cards, you're just cutting them. All right, so that makes them careful not to grab the 4 bottom cards. Just take them out of the middle, a few cards out of the middle, move them to the top, do that 3, 4, 5 times, however often you want to do it, however many times. So, all right, that's the next thing. Now, again, at this point, you can throw in any kind of shuffle you want that doesn't remove the key cards, aces and kings, from the bottom of the packet. Doesn't matter 1 iota. All right, as long as these aces stay there, you can throw in any kind of shuffle that you want. At this point, I go into a cut and I tell them, and again, I'm not going to do it with both packets, just the one. We're going to cut the cards into 3 piles. 1, 2, 3. Keep in mind where the bottom packet is. Now, you're doing it mirror image, so when you do yours, your mirror image of the bottom is going to be here. You'll know that, all right? So you'll know that your bottom cards are here. So you take the middle packet, put it on top of the first packet, and put them on top of the bottom packet so that the aces and kings remain on the bottom. This particular cut is used quite a bit in this effect, and I have to just point out one thing. I'm going to set them back up again. There's the top, there's the middle, and there's the bottom. And I have seen numerous people say you do that, and then you just pick them up like this, and people, 1, 2, 3, just the opposite way that you put them down. And they say, well, people don't notice. I think that is about the stupidest thing that you can say, all right? Because sooner or later, someone will notice that that's all you did. Top packet, middle packet, bottom packet. Take the middle packet and put it on top of what was the top packet. You're doing something different. You're actually mixing up the cards. Takes away the whole idea of, hey, you just put the deck back together the same way you took it apart. You don't want that, okay? And as long as you put everything on top of the bottom packet, the original bottom packet, you're good to go, all right? So don't even bother with the silly putting it back the way you took it apart. Do it middle to top to bottom, all right? And at this point, again, you can go into the final reveal, and you can do, again, a million different kind of cuts or whatever it is that you want them to do, as long as the bottom 4 are not disturbed. So at this point, you then say, okay, we're now going to put 4 stacks on the table, but keep extras for your 5th stack, because we're going to deal those onto the 4 stacks on the table. So don't put too many cards on any individual stack. And I point out 1, 2, 3, 4, where they're going to go. Where do you want to begin? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Doesn't matter. This is all blowing smoke in their eyes. So make it easy. We say, well, we're going to start at 1. Okay. Do you want to go to 4 and come this way, or do you want to go 2, 3, 4? Let's say they say 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we go 2. They can even do 1 card if they want. 3, 4, and they have some left over here. Doesn't matter really how many cards are in any particular stack, including this one, as long as you have at least 4, and those 4 being the aces or kings that are on the bottom of the deck. All right, so once you get to this point, you've got it made. All right, now again, I say, where do you want to start dealing cards out? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Doesn't matter. Again, blowing smoke in their eyes. They say 1. Okay, so do you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or do you want to go 1, 4, 3, 2, and this way? Doesn't matter. You're blowing smoke in their eyes. All right, so we're just going to go like this and place each card one at a time. And as you can see, the bottom 4 cards, where do they end up? On the top of each individual packet. How about that? And then you simply do the reveal. You do your 4 cards, they're all the kings, and when they have all the aces, it just about blows their minds to pieces. And again, it doesn't matter what order in terms of suit the aces come up with, or the kings for that matter, when you show them the kings. That is it. That is the basis and probably the simplest way that you'll ever find of doing shuffle lesson. I've done it with other shuffles in there too, but to me this is just fine. You just take it easy, go slow, go through the routine. Don't make it too long. I found that doing too many shuffles and too many cuts makes it a little bit too long. Keep it short, to the point, but you do it slowly so that they're absorbing everything that they're doing. And at the end, you reveal the aces and the kings, and they look at you, and you can tell by the look in your eyes, in their eyes rather, you can tell by the look in their eyes. Guess what? Yeah, you know what's coming. You've left them baffled.